What's going on, everybody? This is going to be a quick video. Got a short one for you. So we're going to get right to it. I had somebody, so an athlete asked me today, actually, just randomly. She asked me, how do you come up with the things that we are going to do for the day? And first of all, I love when I actually get questions. Like usually a coach, an authority figure, or somebody might get offended if you ask because they feel like you're questioning them in the sense that, like, why why are you having us do this because we don't know if it's relevant, or that they seem to take some offense to just questioning of methods or the rationale. For me personally, I think it shows a sign of caring, that you actually care what you're doing and you care about the process and you want to know more. And honestly, like, you should, if you're an athlete or anybody that is getting any service from somebody, you should be inquiring and asking. And if I can't, not only me, but who you're asking can't actually provide you with a rationale or the why, then good, like, good thing you asked, because now you know that it was just randomness and there was no point to it. Like, there should always be a reason behind it. It's something, um, as a coach, trainer, or whatever, there should always be a reason behind why you're having somebody do whatever you're having them do. So I actually welcome the questions. I love it. And it gives me a chance to really get into a little bit more of the, whether it's coming from more of like a science background, physiological, nutrition. Like, it just gives me an opportunity to dive into my knowledge base and interject that onto people, because the more you know, the better. So she had asked me that, and I thought this would be a great time to actually, make a video on it, because I do think that's something that is important, and it's a little bit of insight into how my brain works when I am programming out. And when I'm programming, it's the sessions for the day. If you're unfamiliar with the way that my program works, it could be a variety of athletes, variety of skill levels, different genders, ages, all that, and we all train together, but it's all based upon what you do and the variation and the sets and the reps and the volume. All of that's based off of your own capabilities, but I'm not programming it to match necessarily your capabilities. Obviously, it has to be responsible and attainable, and actually you have to be able to achieve what I'm giving you. But I'm always setting the bar a little bit higher than what your skills sort of allow for, because I kind of want to get you to have to stretch yourself in your limits. And that's, I guess, not necessarily all the time, but a good majority of the time, because more than likely, and this, I see this all the time, it's just that when you give somebody a task that is, I would say, if it's like 50 to 60% achievable, and you put them in the right environment, maybe that's what it says, 40 to 50. So it's something, a task that's 40 to 50% achievable, and you put them in the right environment, give them the right coaching, and give them the right amount of drive externally, whether it's me or, their buddies, that like 40 to 50 turns into like a 70 to 80% success in completing whatever that task is. So you definitely need to give them something a little bit that is not out of their reach, but is starting to approach, that level where it's like, really got to dig down deep and get after it. So um, the content that I put into the actual programs, it's really simple. And this is all in all these past videos. This is something I've harped on. And it's just um, brilliance in the basics and getting away from the fanciness and the uh, getting too specific with exercises. And, when I think about what I'm going to have people do, it's all in terms of just ideas, or what do all athletes need? They need strength, speed, conditioning, general level baseline of fitness, and then sprinkle in a few other things in terms of the power, and their you can start to even use words like durability, and other things along those lines. But we're mainly focusing on getting them stronger, faster, and more conditioned. Those are my big three. So, is X exercise going to make this athlete stronger in the way that I want them to be, or they need to be? If the answer is no, that doesn't get put in the program. If the answer is yes, it gets put in. What variation of that is appropriate for them? A squat, for example. An athlete that's just starting out who is weak, probably not doing a barbell Zercher squat. You're going to be doing maybe a sandbag squat or a dumbbell squat, um, starting to work in the barbell when appropriate. But you have to, that's where the scaling comes into play. But you have to be doing something that's actually going to make you stronger, regardless of whatever that variation is. So it's that old, I had even mentioned this in another video, what is not for you is against you. So you have to understand that all athletes need to be stronger, faster, and more conditioned. Again, all athletes, regardless of sport, gender, age, background, you need to be stronger, faster, and more conditioned. Your program should be built around improving those three principles. And if it's not helping the athlete. This is where I start to get a little frustrated when strength, for some reason, tends to be demonized, or it's like this. It's like this word that it, it's for, I don't know how to even describe what people are thinking, because it's hard for me to get into that mindset, because I am such an advocate for being strong. You should be strong. Being strong will help you in every facet of sports performance and your life. There's obviously, a lot of nuances into what I just said there, but when generally speaking, if you improve your strength, it is going to help you. So when I have people that reach out to me that for some reason are afraid to say the word strength, and it typically tends to be parents, they'll say they need to improve everything, and they will use every single buzzword except strength. They will go as far to even say things like they need toning. Big one is core strength. And it's just, you need to be strong. That's the last time maybe I'm going to say this in this video, because I feel like I've already said it a million times, but you need to be strong. Do not fear being strong. Strength is never a weakness. Weakness is never a strength. The old famous saying. So when I design these programs for these athletes, I am trying to take their current level of strength, speed, and conditioning, and elevate every single one via things like resistance training, sprints, jumps. When you do all of those and you do them at a high intensity, and you're not messing around, you're not wasting a bunch of time in between sets, you're not just talking, you want to have a great time and you want it to be social, but then there's also a difference between just doing a set and taking 5 minutes. It's like kind of like the water cooler talk, and then you're just losing that intensity and the actual intent behind the training sessions. That's not going to improve your conditioning. But what will improve your conditioning is actually going hard every single set, every single rep, and resting. Uh, Sometimes, if we're doing, say, like the cluster sets, you're resting. You do an A exercise, rest a minute, then you do your B exercise, you rest a minute, you go back to your A, rest a minute, go back to B, rest. So you're about a minute rest. And there's other times I like to have 2 minute rests if it's a really max effort, one or two rep, sets, and we're doing low volume for that day in terms of sets. We really want to maximize the output when we're looking at, say, 3 minutes rest in between sets. And then, all of our accessories are done with as minimal rest as you need to be able to actually complete it with good technique and form and intent. So the goal needs to be, so again, bringing it back to the question, how do I come up with the things that I have them do? There's been tens, hundreds of thousands of different variations of things that I've had people do. And if you go on my Instagram, you see a lot of random, unique type stuff, but it all has a purpose. And again, the purpose is to make every athlete, again, every single athlete, it doesn't matter what sport, age, gender, background, whatever, you need to be stronger, faster, and more conditioned. Anything that doesn't improve those does not go in the program. And at the end of the day, I can put in and I can concoct the absolute best design program, exercises, template, whatever, to improve all that. At the end of the day, if it is not executed with intent and there's no consistency, it's going to flop. So that's the video. A little bit fired up for some reason. Again, people are just demonize strength, and they're okay with being weak, and I just don't understand it, because growing up, being a teenager, in my high school years, being weak sucks. It's not fun to be weak, and I wish I would have worked harder and been stronger. And that, all right. So if you made it this far in the video, you're gonna get a little Easter egg in the end of this video. This is a story I actually told a lot today. So I actually had to go run to the bathroom. This will be the last thing. If you had watched the video before this, I've been dealing with a lot of like the GI bowel issue. It actually got a lot better. Monday I had actually taken. It's funny. So we finally pulled the trigger and we took magnesium citrate, or I took magnesium citrate, which is stuff that they give you before colonoscopy, and that ran through me. It emptied me out pretty well. And then Tuesday I felt great. Monday night I was on the video saying I felt great. Tuesday I felt good. Wednesday I had a little bit of bloating and cramping, and then today Thursday, I was back to normal. Felt great. I wanted to take one more round of again, this is like whatever TMI. I don't care. I think it's a funny story. I wanted to take one more dose of like a stool softener just to be sure I'm good to go. And so we were out of it. So I went to Meijer and I just looked at the brand. So I knew the brand of the stool softener we had at home. I just knew the brand. So I went to Meijer. I saw the brand, didn't think anything of it, grabbed it. and I got home and I took. It says you can take 1 to 3. I had been taking 3 of this little softener just because I feel like I'm a decently bigger guy that usually take the higher dose. So I took 3 of this. Said 1 to 3. I took 3, and Brenda came home and saw the packet sitting out, and she said, "You realize you just bought another laxative?" And I did not. I just looked at the brand name. So I had actually taken a laxative today. It has been running through. It was like a six to. It was like supposed to be, it's like a extended. Uh, it said that within 6 to 12 hours it's going to work, and it worked in time. So I've been having that run through me. Just a dumb mistake. It's just you reap what you sow or whatever. I don't know, but that's why I cut that. I was in the middle of a rant. I cut it. I don't. I won't even want to go back and try to figure out where I was. I'm just gonna end the video here because it's been long enough. So I may make another video. I think I'll probably make another video maybe tomorrow night on Friday. Maybe make a little off-site video as we're driving down to Columbus on Saturday for the Arnold. Maybe put a couple of videos on here from the Arnold, and maybe share some the results from Sunday. Sunday's the race. A good thing about the laxative is that it is maybe helping me cut that couple extra pounds to get my weight down for the body weight bench. So it might have been a good accident or whatever. It was definitely not intentional to buy the laxative, because this one was way worse. The magnesium citrate, if it was like it was a lot more intense, but it wasn't as bad like bloating and cramping. Whatever this stuff was that I accidentally took today, just oh my god, it cramped you so bad and bloated, and then when it just hit like a freaking ton of bricks. So definitely did not purposely want to go through this, but I think is that that Bob Ross quote was a happy accident. So maybe it helped me lose a little bit of extra pounds. But all right, so that's gonna be the end of this video. I will be probably putting on videos from the Arnold and recapping the whole event. So if I don't make another one by then, I will update whoever wants to know. Not many people want to know, but I'll put it up on here how it went. So until then, peace.